Yo, what up, Cellar Dwellers? This is Overlord Dan here, and I'm back with another installment of the Movie Sellers Month of Horrors Cheap Thrills. And we're calling it Cheap Thrills because all the movies that we're watching this October, they all came from the Dollar Tree, and they each only cost me $1 a piece. Can't get much better than that, right? So the way we did this is we had a huge stack of them, and we did a draft between the three of us, and we each picked 10 movies. If you want to hear more about that, you can check out our actual podcast. We're on iTunes and Spotify and all that shit. We're just the Movie Seller. We have a special episode where we actually do the draft, in addition to lots of other great episodes. So check us out. Otherwise, you're here to learn about another movie that I watched and get my really intelligent opinions about it. So, this is actually my third episode in the series, and for that, I'm giving my 8th pick in the draft. And so, my 8th pick was Uncaged. This is a werewolf movie. Look. I'm the werewolf. So it's pretty good. It's about these three buddies, and one of the guys is a werewolf, and it's something that he inherited from his parents, and they're like college freshmen, and he's just turned 18, and a full moon's arising, and he's starting to feel funny, and he kills some people. He ends up killing a guy who was at a train station with a girl. Well, he goes to find the girl to see if she knows anything more about what happened. And when he's there, he runs into her husband. Well, her husband is like this criminal boss guy. He's a very scary dude. And he's like, "Did you see my wife? Was she fucking that other dude? Did you see my wife? Was she with this other dude?" And he's like, no. And then she pulls him aside and she's like, "You gotta help me. My husband's gonna murder me because I'm pregnant with that other dude's baby." Crazy, right? So anyway, he uses his werewolf powers to kill the bad dude and save the girl. And, it's good. It's kind of got like this buddy comedy element to it too, because it's him and his two friends. Definitely the highlight of the movie is his one friend, Brandon, who, I can't remember his name. His last name's Wiener. That's all I remember, the actor. He's really good. He's really, really funny. He's like a toned down version of like McLovin. He's not like super crazy, but he tells his friends he loves them. He tries to hug them. They get, they're with the bad guys, and he's trying to get one of the bad guys' phone numbers because he thinks he's a cool guy. He gets killed. Spoiler alert, he gets killed toward the end by his best friend who turned into a werewolf. And while he's laying there dying, he's like, the kid changes back from a werewolf, and he goes over, he's like, "Brandon, no. And he's like, "Listen, man, you were a werewolf." He's like, "I know, I'm so sorry." He's like, "No, it was so cool. You were so badass. You looked awesome." So, funny stuff like that. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is good for a movie like this, because from the vibe that I get, this was a very low budget film. And when a low budget film takes itself too seriously, it can be a little underwhelming. And this one, it didn't. It had this crazy story, and they added some really good humorous elements to it. I will also say this about the movie. The one downside, the thing that I would really knock it for, the werewolf does not look like this. It does not look this good. He looks pretty goofy. Picture like Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox. Teen Wolf was fine for a comedy. But if you want to like be scary, like the cover implies, they should have done something a little different. I don't know. I thought it would have really benefited from being like a shot on video film where it didn't look so clean and crisp throughout. One thing I did think was cool though that I want to say before I move on was there were a lot of scenes where they were cutting to a different place, and normally like where they'd show the outside of a building or some shit like that, and like say something across the screen like this is where we are and this is when it happened. It like did it like a comic book splash. So I don't know if it was because they couldn't afford these exterior shots or what it was, or they couldn't find the place that fit what they pictured in their minds. But it really worked great for the movie. I mean, the comics weren't really an element of the film, but those scenes, those shots like throughout where they go to a new place and they kind of show the exterior as a comic book shot and then like have the comic book bubbles across it. I thought that was a really good way to do that. And it looked really cool. So I like that. All right, moving on. We're going to go through the categories now. All right. And if you remember, I have like 7 or 8 categories. Each one, I'll either give the movie a thumbs up, a thumb sideways for okay, or a thumbs down if it sucked in it. Okay. So, and the last one is just overall, and it's kind of my recommendation whether you should check it out or not. So as far as gore is concerned, 100%. Very good gore. I mean, exactly what you'd expect for a movie like this. I mean, is it the greatest looking stuff? Does it make you like, oh, I can't look at that? No, but it's definitely blood splattering everywhere. The last kill, fantastic kill. Rips the guy's head in two, like right down the middle. You know, that's awesome. A lot of good stuff like that. Brandon, he gets his demise and he's got 3 big claw marks across his face. They did a really good job with the makeup and effects on that. It was good. Music, I'm going to give it a thumbs down. There was nothing interesting about the music. Maybe, I guess, the sideways, just because the music didn't take away from it, but it didn't add much either. Ambiance, I'm going to go thumb sideways again. Like I said, if this were shot on video, the ambiance would have been perfect. There were some really cool elements to it where they're like up north and it's really cold and they're at this like barn / cabin thing. And all of that had a really cool like spooky vibe to it, but it was so clean and crisp that it kind of took away from it, in my opinion. Too much light. Creativity, I'm going to have to go thumbs down on this one. You know, it's a werewolf story. They didn't really do much beyond that, but that's okay. You know, it was still a fun movie. Suspense / jump scares, thumbs down again. It wasn't suspenseful. I don't know that there were really any jump scares. Your hero is the werewolf, so it's not like you're ever waiting for him to jump out to hurt like the people that you care about in the movie. You know it's coming. You're following him. You're seeing through his eyes. And like any kind of thematic like suspense added with the husband who's like the villain, it kind of it's not really there. Lasting impact. I'm sorry, Uncaged. I'm gonna have to give you a thumbs down on lasting impact. This one's gonna go to the back of the pile. I mean, it was fine and it was fun, and I'm glad that I watched it. But I'll forget about it very easily. Overall, I'm gonna give it a thumb sideways. If you get a chance to check it out, if you're into werewolf movies, I would check it out. It's fun, you know, if you have nothing else that you need to watch. It's a fun way to spend an hour and a half. I think it's free on Tubi, and like I said, I was able to get it at the Dollar Tree, so it's there too. All right, so otherwise, tune back in tomorrow for more of our month of horrors, cheap thrills, brought to you by the Movie Cellar. So make sure you fucking check out the Movie Cellar, because we got a ton of great content on there too. All right, and until next time, bye.